All right, welcome back to the to the Baller Pod. I'm joined by a special guest, Jesse Edwards. Jesse is a skilled big man known for his footwork, shot blocking, and versatility on both ends of the floor. Originally from the Netherlands, shout out to all the Dutch listeners. Shout out to Kai also for making this happen. Jesse made a name for himself at Syracuse, 1 year at West Virginia before continuing his career at the NBA level. Now a part of the Minnesota Timberwolves and its G League team. Jesse, welcome to the pod. It's great to have you here.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Um, I gotta let you know you're breaking the barriers because this pod is official now. You're the first NBA player on this pod.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to start, with the freshest news because just made an NBA debut about 10 years ago. So a live reaction. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, no, it was great. It was about yeah, like you said, like a week ago. But yeah, no, it's been great. Obviously like it's like kind of a dream always, you work towards that. And yeah, from now it's like it's crazy because you go up and down, and now I'm playing with the G League team. So last week you were out with the NBA team, so it's just like a crazy last couple of weeks, and now just trying to make sure that hopefully get a lot more games under my belt. But yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, it was a couple of minutes still waiting for the first basket, but
Yeah,
that first barrier is breaking. Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let me go back though. We'll return to the NBA story. I wanna start, from the beginning, from your childhood and the background a little bit. Um, I know you grew up with two brothers, so you are three brothers, three siblings all together. Being the youngest, uh, let me know. Do you think that played a role a bit in shaping your competitiveness and drive and like sports development at all?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like if you have brothers or sisters, you always have like a dynamic with your brothers and sisters. Like for us, it was definitely like sports. It was always competitive. Like we would always go out. Like it would be centered around like fun. We'd go out to play for fun, but then it would always get competitive at some point. Like usually they were always like a little better than me because they're stronger, older. So I get they kick my ass until like I would actually be good enough to play with them. But yeah, no, it's definitely I think like interesting how that like would impact my like competitiveness or like how I look at the game. But for me, I was always the youngest, so I was always the one that was trying to be on their level or like try to be like them in a way.
Yeah, yeah. And you wake up basically every day, there's like a bigger, older version of you ready to
Yeah,
beat you up, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah, like pretty much actually. So like they were, I have good brothers though. They weren't too bad to me. So it was good for me. I think.
Nice, nice, nice. Nah, cause I'm training a lot of people. I also have a younger brother, 6 year old younger, and my
Oh yeah.
theory is like the youngest sibling is often like the best athlete, because just because of that development and so I'm working on that theory, but I feel like got it down pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
All right, all right. So you got maybe like any stories from the childhood, like early basketball or just being with your brothers that you would like to share right now?
Story. I would mean, it was for us pretty much. It would be like I said. Like I have two older brothers, Renz and Kai, and I mean we would just we wouldn't necessarily do like this like one sport. We would love like soccer. We would always play, and we played basketball when we were a little older, like 11, 12, or when I was 11, 12, we started playing
Mhm.
basketball. And we would do that like every chance we got. Like we would go out on the weekend. We would go out when we were after school when we had like some time, or anytime we could. We would go like with us three and some friends. And like specific stories, like like it's too much to think of, but it would just be
Mhm.
us wherever. Like it would be snow, we would be in these big ass jackets, and we would be playing like terrible basketball on these like shady courts or whatever. But all my memories is just like us three together, doing that whenever we could. And I think that was just like that's all. Anytime I think of like having fun with the game, I think of those times.
All right, perfect, perfect. So then, obviously, you probably had a growth spurt at some point. You started taking basketball a little bit seriously. Um,
Yeah.
when did like basketball became like your main thing, or you started thinking about that maybe like full time, you know?
Yeah, I was a little older, I think, than usual, at least compared to American kids. Like I was about, like I said, like 11, 12 when we first started like playing on like little courts.
Hmm.
And I was like 14, 15 when I went to my first club in Apollo, Amsterdam. And then um, I played in like second teams for a while and like up to first, second. It was not really like a super serious thing. And then I did grow. Like I was always tall, but I grew a good amount when I was about like 17, 16, 17.
Hmm.
And then I went and played a good year in the U18 and kind of still not that super like serious. It was like I was going to school mostly and then I was playing in the evening. So serious basketball I was probably in 18, 19 when I really like went, I went to IMG Academy and there they have like,
Okay.
yeah, great, like amazing program. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
How did you got there? Like, so was that like through like maybe national team or like other exposure? Like, when did that idea like appear that that is a real possibility?
Yeah, I was never like in the national. I did national tryout when I was like 16 or something. I think I
Mhm.
didn't make the team or whatever. So like, it wasn't through that. It was really through like I think it was like a scout. Because I still don't know 100% because I got an email like in my inbox. I just got an email from a prep school head coach at another academy called Brewster, and they had apparently seen a video from like YouTube or from another scout or something like that. I had posted one video, so it might have been that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't even know 100%. But it was for me. It was kind of like random. But I'd seen a couple scouts in the Apollo like hall and other places. But it was yeah the email, and then from there I got into contact with that coach and another academy, and so it was yeah strange way, but I think the Apollo Hall is for me also like where I got some attention from
Yeah.
scouts and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. So not like highly coveted, like you would say, like
no,
captain of the national team. So maybe the young listeners can know that if you're not like the most talented or the best guy yet, it's still like room for growth, right?
yeah, no, 100%. Like I was never in the national team.
Yeah, all right. Then whole transition, like, so for 18, 19-year-old, um, to go to so another continent to the States and then going there through the IG, the academy program and then getting recruited to college, like, how was that experience for you?
Like also like really cool. Like I would never, like I said, I was never like a big prospect or
Mhm.
talent until like 18, 19, and then I got these big colleges and scouts and people come to watch the games, and it was a different world out there for me. So yeah, I loved that. I was kind of like like wow, this is kind of crazy every time, and then I went to Syracuse They scouted me from IMG, and their stadium is about like it's one of the biggest ones in the world. So like I was like from like a tiny place. I went like 1 year. It was like I went to this huge stadium. It was crazy. So um yeah, no, for me it was amazing like experience.
Yeah, then you definitely on the map. So going from like a smaller club, I had a chance to see some of these bigger D1 schools when you just go into the gym and just watching the weight room, you have like 20, 30 squat racks. It seems unreal to like,
Yeah,
like a teenager from a small town, let's say. Um,
yeah,
all right. But then, so I noticed like you spent 4 years at Syracuse, but first 2 years, like if you look at the stats, like you didn't play that much or you didn't put up stats, but then you made a huge, like a big jump from sophomore to junior year. What would you say was the reason for that?
yeah. That's a good question. I think like funny enough, like I think strength. So like obviously your strength goes. I think that was for me a big uh thing. Like I was skinny kind of. I
Hmm.
was about 196 pounds. I'm not sure, like it's like 90 kilos I think
Yeah.
when I came in, and I put on like a good amount of muscle every year in the gym, and I it wasn't only that, but like that helped a lot with being able to play my game against some of these guys that were just a lot stronger than me, and they could like push me around in my freshman year a lot more easily than when I
Hmm.
was like a sophomore and a junior. And then on top of that, like experience, like I think the coach I had, Coach Bayami, he really likes players that he knows a little better or that he can trust, So uh, that for me, knowing the system for 2 years, that really like gave me an advantage over all the other guys. Uh, and then from there, like everything together that got me to getting that opportunity, which I finally got in, or kind of at the end of sophomore year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I see a lot of big guys, especially. They need like this extra year or even 2 years to grow into their body a little bit. Um, and the hard thing I know this with young players is at that point to stay patient and to not be down on yourself and to just continue practicing and learning. So you're not like stuck and being sad, but you just keep showing up to practices, even if you're not playing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like I had the same thing too. Like you said, like you don't really want to wait, uh, like a year or maybe 2 years, and then like when you're like I'm ready, like I want to play, but sometimes you can, but there's a lot of times where you have to wait. So that was a good like example of that. And at the moment, I did not like it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
it got through it. Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes like progress is not linear. Yeah,
yeah,
so it
yeah,
like
yeah.
stagnates and then you break the plateau and it like expands. So, um,
Hmm.
but I guess it's hard to understand to tell that like to 19, 20, 21 year old, So
Yeah, especially when you don't see the result yet. You don't know how it's gonna go, so you kind of it's hard to keep you straight at that point.
yeah, yeah. Any basketball adjustments or lessons from your college days, maybe especially first few years?
Uh, I mean that was like the patience is obviously it's a big one, but I would say like um I mean for me physically, one thing that helped me like was realizing that it was good for me to keep lifting at a good amount. Like for example, I was not really used to lifting during the season, kind
Uh-huh.
of, because we wouldn't have that at all at like um, Apollo or anywhere where I played when I was younger. So like to build my body and stay strong during the season, or even like gain a little weight, you have to like at least I had to like keep lifting a good amount. Like I couldn't, let's say, out a game day or two games in 4 days. Normally, I would like kind of just play basketball and not really lift, but
Hmm. Hmm.
it was important to get like that extra session maybe earlier in the day, or even better like after the game if you had time for that, because then you can get a little bit more volume in, and then to do that, that would like really help keep my physique up, because I was dropping like weight a lot at first.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, yeah, that was big.
This is music to my ears. I'm gonna take this clip out and show to all my players, you know.
Yeah, it like really, especially if you try to if you want to gain some weight, that
Hmm.
like, so like I have like me, so like that's definitely important for me.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, all right, and so I checked you scored more than 1,000 points in your college career. Um, but
Yeah,
give me
yeah.
maybe one of your most memorable moment, or you can pick more moments if you like from your Syracuse day or even West Virginia.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think yeah, there's a couple for sure. Like my first basket was against Virginia at Syracuse, and I was young. It was like a long floater, bounced up, boom, and in. I think one of my best or like most memorable moments was in the March Madness, the tournament, NCAA tournament. We were like, we were a lower seed. People didn't really expect a lot, and then we made it to for the first two rounds. We made it to the Sweet 16, and that was like the like what's it called? Attention and the amount of people that watch that tournament is like crazy. So like that
Mhm.
was like kind of life changing for me to see all that, and yeah, there's a good amount for sure in college, and like it's when you have like a really good game, or like when I had my first like really good game. There's um like the feeling you have at that point is just like no other feeling. So I think, yeah, there's a good amount of memories I have from my college days.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I watched a few mixtapes of you playing, especially college. Like, you got, I mean, you're athletic, obviously, and big and tall, but you got some sneaky footwork and touch also. So it's like it's a pleasure to watch, I
Appreciate
have to say. So,
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I mean I try to work on it for sure, because I usually my most of my game is like it's inside and physical, but I used to play a lot more outside when I was younger, so it's still there, it's still there.
yeah. Okay, but so you did had those skills a little bit when you were younger, or do you work on other stuff now too?
Yeah, both. Yeah, both. When I was like younger, I played like in the second team, like I said, and I played way more with the ball, like outside, and I would like be like a driver, and I would shoot some more. And obviously, when you get into like the higher teams, you get a role, and then you kind of play in that role. So like I don't do that as much, but I still work on like improving, I don't know, like my shot or keeping my handle good or my touch, just because it's still helpful. It's still very helpful. Like if you can add that to your game, but it's not as big of a part as it was for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a good point because actually, like you're like screen and roll guy, you know, like catch lobs, dunk, layups,
Yeah,
but if you wanna like climb next levels, teams are gonna be better and are gonna adjust. So if you add that spin move or like a floater, you're definitely more valuable, right?
yeah. Well, like 100%. It's like you're not gonna do it just every time, but like just to have that is definitely it's still valuable for sure.
Yeah, nice, nice. I like this growth mindset type of mentality. Yeah. Um, all right. Tell me a little bit more about your typical training day. Maybe we can go to the off season if you like, because we know now you have a lot of travel and games mostly. but I'm curious in terms of your like skill work, strength training, and recovery. Like, what's your plan and mentality here?
Yeah, it's still a work in like progress, like to get the perfect like off season. But what I kind of done last year and I'm planning on doing like for the coming years is there's a um uh couple Dutch guys who are like playing in America, or and there's obviously the Dutch team that national team guys that I know very well, and we try to like find little like time whenever we're at the same time in the Netherlands. Like we kind of just meet, and there's this trainer we have like for basketball. He's called Yard. I've probably I guess more people that have heard of him, but
Hmm.
yeah, he helps us, and he has locations, or he has just like he brings us together, and we kind of scrimmage, and we have an opportunity to lift at some of the places
Hmm.
with our staff from the Dutch team, and they help a lot too outside of the the windows with all that. So like you get a place to lift, you get a place to play ball, and um, so you kind of have the base. Like, and if you have a good base with that, then if you go home and eat well and recover well, then for the off season, that's like kind of a perfect like thing for me to have, and for the other guys too. And then if you have like high level players coming, that's like a kind of how I want. Like if it's 1 week, 2 week, or 3 weeks, I don't know how long I have this summer, but that's kind of how I try to want to build it up.
Yeah, that's all you need basically, right?
Yeah, right. That's what I think. So.
Well, you probably take some time off. Like, how much do you allow, like, to decompress a little bit and to take a mental break?
Uh,
Yeah.
what I've done usually is like because I'm away from home like the whole year basically. I only come home in the summers. I usually try to have like um around a week where I really go low on like basketball, because basically it's like 50 weeks of like intense, like you're thinking about basketball,
Mhm.
you're playing basketball, or you're training or anything like that. So I uh or 51 weeks, and then like I usually try to take 1 week where I just try to go like and decompress and still kind of stretch and stay like a little fit like here and there, but like it's not focused on you know uh oh, I got to do this on the court or next year, like this and that. It's really like a low
Mhm.
week. I tried to do, yeah, for sure that. And I think that works for me. And you can do a little more, I think, or a little less. It depends on the person, but yeah, for me, it's around there.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, I think I had like one IG post that had like a little bit bigger reach. I said like you should take 3 weeks no basketball during the summer.
Yeah,
Uh, this is like my perfect world because
yeah,
I don't want to see players doing the same movements, and also like mentally to take your mind off, so when you go back to basketball you're actually hungry for the ball, and to
yeah. That's the
train.
thing. Like I'm still, like I said, I'm still like finding my balance. So it could be like 2 weeks this year, or like maybe like three. Like it depends on like how you feel in that summer. You really, like you said, mentally, it might be more mentally than physically, like just to get away from your like daily work kind of. Yeah, for sure. So
No, for
like
sure. Yeah, I think also mentally it's almost bigger. And
yeah.
let's make a compromise. I'll give you 2 weeks, but then I say to the players, I give you 2 or 3 weeks. But when you come back, in the off season, then we start working. Then we're really working, So
I
uh,
mean, yeah, at the end of the day, off season is usually almost like harder than season. So like,
true.
like you got to get ready for that too. So that, it's good for sure.
All right. So you share your locker room with Rudy Gobert. You probably played a bunch of other high level players. Um, do you have any like specific players you look out or you model your game after, or you just want to be yourself, or is it somewhere in between?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably in between. I definitely like try to learn as much as I can from, especially like you said, like playing in practice with like Rudy or Nas or any of the other guys that are on the team or kind of in my position. Like I try to take like things when I see like okay, like obviously Rudy's one of the best defenders in the NBA in the last like 20 years. So like to be able to play with him every day is definitely like super helpful to see how he, I don't know, like guards ball screens or how he does any type of basketball movement on the defensive end, and then like you take everybody, you can see everybody's like strength, and you kind of just I try to kind of like learn from everybody's best parts, and then at the end of the day, I play my game, but that's definitely uh like you can definitely like take I take a lot from other players and especially the ones around me. So yeah, and then off the court too, like how they take care of their bodies, um, how they lift, how they sleep, like everything, like um, they do it at a very high level, pretty much. So it's perfect to learn.
Yeah, because NBA is a different beast. Like, okay, you may come from college where you have, I don't know, like 40 games a year ish.
Yeah, like 30, 35.
Yeah, and then you go to NBA, you double, and especially if you combine the like the G League stuff,
Yeah.
it's a whole nother beast probably. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like college was like 2 games a week, like max three, and NBA is like at least three and maybe four. Like it's crazy. The load is a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So take us a little bit more in your maybe first like G League experience, because here it's most time you play G League, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, what was your experience so far?
It's a very like it's a very good like learning experience. I think the level is higher than I would say I thought it was gonna be. There's definitely like um a lot of talented players out here, and a lot of them you've seen in college or like the pros in Europe, and they kind of they play in the G League to try and get their spot in the NBA. And there's also a lot of um, like NBA guys who don't play a lot that go play with the G League team to get minutes and experience. So it's like it's a good level for sure. And um, I would say the hardest part of the G League is probably just the travel. Like you're just traveling a lot, and it's not the same as the like college or NBA. Like it's not a private jet or like super comfortable. It's just you fly from like early mornings usually you fly, and then you get there, and then it's usually with a layover. So it's like the hardest part is just travel and like doing all this stuff. You're super tired, but then you got to practice, and then you got to it's like the whole schedule is a lot. But the games is very it's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, feels like it's kind of you need to deserve your spot. So then you appreciate when you jump to the NBA all the glitz and glamour, right?
Yeah, no, like 100%. I think everybody that like has like been in this position kind of just probably feels the same way. Like you I would say most people. I personally I enjoy like the G League uh, team, and being with the guys and playing the games, and then like I said, like the travel and all that stuff around it
Mhm.
makes it a lot harder. But yeah, you definitely appreciate it, and when you do like play with NBA team and you uh yeah go back there, it's you appreciate like all this stuff, like how much food, how much like like recovery, all that stuff is it's crazy and like compared to anything. But yeah, it's yeah, you
Mhm.
appreciate it for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Although like G League is growing in the last years, but like you said, the league is basically filled with NBA level talent. But like the financial gap and is huge compared to the NBA. Um, what I would add here, what is interesting to me in the G League, because basically all the other pro leagues, it's like championship or bust. But G League is like a development league, and it feels like it's like a fight for your life mentality. They're a little bit. You need to produce stats. You want to get called up. Is the individual first, or is it still like a kind of team mentality there?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it depends on the team. I think it's changed over the years too. Like, they're trying to figure out what the best way is to combine those two. Because at the end of the day, like, um, most people in the G League are trying to, earn a spot, uh, in like either an NBA team or in get scouted overseas. So they're trying, obviously, you know, uh, up their own like stock. Uh, but if you compare that to like any other players, like in college or even in NBA or any other league, like players always want to, you know, show how good they are and up their own stock. So it's kind of in that way, it's not too different. I think
Mm-hmm. Okay.
uh, like in the end, and also like if you are on a winning G League team, you get a lot more like attention and scouts than if you are on like a losing team. So I think that also motivates players to make sure that it's good. It's the team is doing well, and it's kind of like I think that it's kind of a bit of both.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you guys definitely did rack a bunch of wins this year, right?
So there's 2 seasons. I think now that's how it works
Uh-huh.
exactly. Like there's winter season and
Hmm.
then like spring, I guess.
Hmm.
So yeah, the winter season, the first part we had I think like top two, and we did like very super, like really well. And then the second part we've struggled a lot more, but it's kind of funny. Like we got to see both sides in like half a year basically. But yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. You had one of the best games in the winter part where you scored 31 points with the game winner. You definitely turned some eyes there. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was a like kind of a crazy game. I think that was Milwaukee, and then like you said, I think I had 31 and like a weird game winner. Like it was I caught it and I got the rebound and the shot clock like went off, and then I just kind of everybody thought the game was like over because it was like but there was a difference of like 1 second between shot clock and game clock. So I
Yeah.
caught it and I just threw it up. I wasn't even sure if it would count, and then like the actual buzzer went after, and then it went in, and we won. So it was like the weirdest game winner I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe this was for the better, no pressure shot. You just made it like a
Yeah,
form shot.
it was like a half fade away without a jump. It like just weird, but hey, win is a win, man. It's a win.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well, other stuff I have to mention, like you were on my radar because I was watching a Christmas game with your brother, who I train here. So we were watching the Christmas game against the Mavs. So Luca against Anthony Edwards, of course. You were on the
Yeah,
sideline there, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was a funny thing because you guys had like a big lead. It was like 20, 25, I think even 30 points. And in the
Yeah,
second half, we just waited for you to make an appearance, in garbage time, but then the Mavs made a comeback. Um, how did you
yeah,
watch the game from the sideline? Like, what was the experience?
yeah. I mean, obviously, like you said, like I was hoping we would like blow them out, and then maybe get like a chance like to get my first minutes at that point already. Then, uh, but and then I think yeah, Kyrie started going like crazy, like making every shot, and yeah, he he got them back in the game. So like I mean on both sides, like on one hand like kind of it's like beautiful to watch. Like for example, Kyrie's like he's so good, So like you get to see him go off is always like a good watch. But at the end of the day, I kind of wanted to play myself. I kind of wanted to get on the court. So like uh I wasn't like it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for, but at some point
Yeah.
I figured that I would get another chance, hopefully. So
Okay. Well, you were ready. Like,
yeah,
I think the saying is like if you're training for a marathon, your first session should be just putting on your running shoes. So I guess that was that experience for you, you know.
yeah, no, low key, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Good. All right. I got a few like rapid fire mentality, future goals. Maybe we can dig into that for the end part. Um,
So
um, Tell me maybe how do you stay mentally locked during the tough stretches of the season? And what are those tough stretches for you, for example?
uh the tough stretches I would say would probably be like kind of halfway or near the end when you don't when you had a big part of the season, but you still have it's kind of like around now.
Yeah.
Like, you
Okay.
still have like, weeks ahead, but you you've been playing for a long time already. So I would say the best way to get through is it's not always going to go well. Like for example, last game it was yesterday for us, and we really as a team did not have a good game. I didn't have a good game. The energy was low, and we're going to try to bounce back from that tomorrow. But it's it's good to know that like it's not always going to go perfect. But for example, just for right now, like it's important to just focus on keeping your like energy high, whether it's like doing the stuff after court with like food and like the basics. Trying to really just focus on every game one by one instead of like looking at it's kind of basic the thought,
Mhm.
but sometimes you get like oh there's a lot I've been playing for so long and there's so much left, like maybe it doesn't matter right now, but you gotta really like realize that every like the game right now is the game you gotta think about and not get like too far into the future of like next couple weeks or like something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's a good insight because I have the same with my guys. It's kind of like, that part of the season and taking week after week. But then, like my job, for example, try to make a little bit fun warm up, like maybe like a 5 minute
yeah,
game just to loosen up,
yeah.
or
Those
yeah,
are good. Those are good.
yeah, yeah. Try this, or we put just some music in the weight room, like just talk basketball in between sets, just to get the sense of, like not just you're not on the job the whole time. So we kind of hang out a little bit too.
Yeah, no, that exactly that type of stuff help a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well, that's good because obviously, like basketball is a huge part of your life right now. But do you find balance like through other aspects? I don't know, like hobbies, TV shows, whatever, or is it like basketball 24/7 right now?
No, yeah, I do. I try to definitely like do other things I enjoy. Like I've always played like piano, like the instrument. Like I always try to get a little better at like something else, whatever it is. Like for example, like the piano is an example. Like I played that at home. I got the keyboard. So like whenever I have some time, I just sit down. Or like it could be anything. Like I started investing in like stocks when I was a freshman, and kind of just learn a lot about like taking care of your own money and all that stuff, which
Hmm.
is like you don't have to, but it helps a lot in like in your life. So like it was just I would usually just try to learn a skill
Hmm.
or just chill and have fun, like watch like series or hang out with like my girlfriend or my friends or something like that. But since they're not here, know, like you're on the road a lot, and my girlfriend is lives in the Netherlands, so she's not here either right now. So you have to find stuff like piano or like series or um, I even like start I don't know like drawing, like learn to do anything like
Nice.
so it
That's a
was
good one. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You gotta occupy your mind a bit, so it's not you're not
You
like
do like you find like random like stuff like like you never like think about or whatever like just weird like shit.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
good. It helps for me.
No, that's great. That's great for sure. Um, all right. So I don't know how much you know about this pod, but a lot of players that come here earlier, like some made their national team debuts. We got like big breakthroughs with a lot of players that came through our pod. I consider that good karma. So now
Hmm.
I want you to picture like a little bit best case scenario, or like maybe your goals in the next 3 to 5 years, let's say. Where is Jesse Edwards in that future?
Man, yeah, no. I think my goals are like you're talking about, I guess, basketball wise or career or.
Uh, you can go basketball first, but you can go wider later if you want, for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean basketball goals. I would definitely. Um, I'm working and hoping to get that first contract, kind of, which is like a solid contract in the NBA. Well, that's what kind of obviously you're here working for, and like strictly career wise, that would be like my big goal right now. And yeah, there's a lot of guys who going for that, so there's a lot of work to be put in, and like I said, these games, I think we got like 8 games left. Is for right now all I got to focus on, and um, then the off season. So yeah, that would be my big career goal, and then yeah, and outside of that, I don't know yet. I don't have
Yeah.
a lot of plans. Yeah, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You need that first contract first, then we can talk a long-term future, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right. So how about national team? Give me a little bit insight into Dutch national team, and maybe goals for you or for your guys that you train in the summer.
Yeah, I think we as a national team we have good like big goals. I think we have a lot of like like really talented and good players right now and young players. So like over the next like years, I think the goals, yeah, they're definitely to go to the what's it called, the Eurobasket in
Mhm.
29. I think they're trying to host as well in the Netherlands. So like I think that's a big goal to do well, like get far, and compared to like obviously the last we've been. I think the last time we were like a high level European team was a while. So like I think we have a pretty like good chance to make a change in that, and that would be the big goal to like get to I don't know at least out of the group stage and
Nice.
put Dutch basketball like on a
Yeah.
where it's could be.
Well, yeah, because the guys just missed. They like lost to Was it Great Britain, I think, for a few.
Yeah, for this one, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm here now, second year in the Netherlands. I can see some young players. I can see the basketball is growing a little bit. It's not at soccer level yet, but it's
No, yeah,
it's gaining
it's growing.
popularity for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
from every time I get home in the summer, it's like I go, I don't know, like you go into the city and then there's like, there's a couple courts. And it used to be like almost no courts, but now there's a couple courts. Even on like Museumplein, there's a nice little. Well, it's been there for a while, but there's more people playing on it than I have seen like before when I was younger. Like it would be empty. Like there would
Mhm.
be maybe two guys or three guys sometimes, but now I feel like every time I go, there's at least a couple like kids or people playing on there. So I like that. I
Yeah,
love that.
for sure, because it doesn't happen overnight. Like I remember, France was like a no-name country 25 years ago. Now they're like first, second, third best team in the world. So
Yeah.
um, you just gotta go step by step. But I'm sure like there's two of you Dutch guys now in the NBA, so I'm sure you're doing your part. You're starting to do your part right now for the that, yeah. Um, Good, Jesse. Appreciate for your time. Wish you all the best. Keep training. I like all the insights you've given us. Any last thoughts?
No, man, just gotta lock in for the last part of the season. That's for everyone. You guys, for us, for yeah, it's gonna be good.
All right, all right. Good. Take care.
Yeah, you too, man.